Here's the second upload for today, the history of the European Union. This is the first union I am going to be talking about in this series. Let's begin. Let's go all the way back to 1945. The French, the Germans, and the Italians are thinking of something. For life, we have run out of money. The Germans are so poor that they literally have spiders on their back. There's an even further flashback to 1939, where the Nazi Germans and the French fought. And in 1945, the Nazi Germans went to the Soviets in Berlin. And now that's why they have a shortage of money. But the good news is that they get some factories, but the French are still thinking of something. They want to form a union, and they have an idea. They invite the Luxembourgish, the Italians, the Germans, the Belgians, and the Dutch to a meeting outside. They all want to trade silver bars and coal to each other. And they agree. This is called the EOUS. In 1951. And now, the last six all have a meeting in Rome, the capital of Italy, with the Colosseum in the background. The Germans trade bags, boots, and chests to the French. They also give them some money. And they can enter their country. And they agree. They also start the Luxembourgish trade sacks of money. The Italians trade milk, a sack of money, and cheese. The French gives tomatoes and a big slice of cheese. The Dutch give fish, and the Belgians give corn. And now they install a lot of nuclear power plants. And now they have yet another meeting in Rome, and they agree on creating the European Atomic Energy Community, or AEC. And the Danish are looking in, and they see that the French and the European Union are happy with each other. And the Danish also go to the European Union, and they give the application leaflet. Yes, the EU flag was also used for the EEC. And some of the British, but the French protect them. This is called a veto. And the Danish don't want to be a part of it anymore. And now the EEC and two other unions are looking aboard. And they form one union called the EU in 1967. And now the French become democratic again. And with that, they also want UK to join their union. And also Denmark rejoins and Ireland joins. And all three countries agree. Wait, it was actually still called the EEC in 1973. Sorry. Anyways, the Germans and the French are talking that they want one giant stack of money. This might be the old symbol for the euro. And the economy will decrease though. And the EC will give them chests of money, and they agree. And, and now they all have a meeting in Copenhagen, the capital of Denmark, and they announce their plan. And the rest of the attending countries are happy, except for the British. And it doesn't look like they leave, but they just leave the meeting. They do, they do want to stay in, but they just don't want that to happen. And now, the governments of UK, France, Germany, and Italy are all installing their votes, and the Dutch too. They were the first to install their votes. The second came the French. The third came the Italians, and so on. Um, and now this is a giant leaflet call for European Parliament. And now the Portuguese, the Spanish, and the Greeks are fighting with their harsh counterparts, and they win. And now they become democratic countries. And I don't know why, but the Portuguese switch their lands with Ireland, the British switch their lands with Spain, and the Danish switch their lands with the Greeks. By the way, they all want to. I think that was just, a glitch. They all want to join the EC, and the EC agrees. I mean, EEC, not EC, EEC. And now for Greenlanders argue with the Danish. And the Greenlanders want to kick out the Danish from their land. And even though the Danish didn't want to, they become friends anyway. And now for Greenlanders still want to join the EEC. And now for Luxembourgish, the Germans, the French, the Belgians, and the Dutch have yet another meeting. The Germans want to give more bags, boots, and chests to the French. They'll use their passports to go in this time. But they don't want that to happen. And instead, let them in for free. And everyone agrees. And now the French and the Luxembourgish are thinking. And the Luxembourgish have an idea. Here's a city called Schengen. They made an agreement out of it. First, the name of the agreement, the Schengen Agreement. And now all the EEC countries are protesting. The French don't want the Germans to give them any goods anymore. The EEC tells them to calm down. And now they all sign the Single European Act. That's a lot of marks. Anyways, they all have a big meeting this time. They give him a set of rules. The budget deficit is over 3% of the GDP. The public debt is over 60% of the GDP. And the participation in exchange rate mechanism. They go down in yields by 1.5%. And the cards by the checklist. I don't get this. But agree. And now the Norwegians have their vote. And all of them don't want to join the EEC. And now the Norwegians please them to not join it. And they give them most likely either 100,000 or 1 million euros. And now they are pondering. Pondering is a synonym for thinking, by the way. And now, by catching a lot of fish, they have so much fish that one of them has to drag them by a boat. They get 3 chests of money out of it. And I have no idea what happened, but the Norwegians go back to their homeland. I think they agreed. And now the Austrians want to join. And now the EEC is pondering. They're thinking all the way back to 1939 to 1945, the World War II period. They helped the Germans to fight with France. And the Germans surrendered. And the French stopped their application with Austria. But the Austrians begged them to join. And they gladly agreed. We're finally getting them to name it to the EU. Austria joined in 1995. And now the Swedish and the Finnish want to join. They give applications. And they agree, of course. And they go back to their lands, which is now part of the EU. And now all the and now for Norwegian and now for Swedish, for Finnish and the Austrians have a first ever meeting at the EU. This was called the Maastricht Treaty. And now all the countries are pondering. And now the Dutch change it to Schengen. And now they get even more leaflets, and they agree. Now they have yet another meeting. They all want to stack up their coins again and finally name it to the euro. And also get paper money. And all are in favour, except for the Swedish, the Danish and the British. I don't know why. Oh, I thought that was Austria, but this is Czechia. Anyways, they want to join the European Union. They give application and give it to the EU. And they actually go over to Czechia. And they agree and become friends. It joined in 2004. And now it's having its first meeting with the other EU countries. And Poland wants to join. They get its application and give it to the rest of the EU countries. And they all obviously agree. It also joined in 2004, but they declined the euro gift. And now many other countries like Malta, Slovenia, Slovakia, Cyprus, Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania all want to join the EU. And they all give applications. But even with so many countries wanting to join, they all get accepted. And now, but first new countries didn't get to have them this meeting in Rome. They all want they want all EU countries to combine their constitutions to get the Constitution of the European Union. And they agree. That's yet too many correct ticks again. And now for EU themselves destroy the constitution. And now all of the countries inside it are pondering what to do next. And now the Portuguese write down a constitution. And now the economy is experiencing some ups and downs. They were going up and then going down and then going up again. And now they tried to balance it more. They were going up a bit, going slightly down, and going up a lot then. And now they all get nuclear power plants and solar panels now. And now the EU gets their constitution back. And now all countries except Ireland and Czechia are applauding. They are pondering if they want to agree or not. But they don't actually leave. This was called for reform of Lisbon, the capital of Portugal. And now the EU wants Bulgaria to join, and they gladly agree and become friends. But they decline the EU offer because they already have their own currency in 2025. And now the EU become friends with the Romanians. And thus they joined it in 2007. But they also declined the euro offer since they also have their very own currency. And now the EU writes down some more notes taken by the Germans, the French, the Polish. They got many X's and few ticks. And now they are thinking what to do. According to data from 2013, 44% of EU citizens support the idea of creating a federation of European states in the future. I know we're going forward a few years now. It takes us a few years to get Croatia to join. And all of the countries agree. It joined in 2013. And now the British economy is going up a bit, down a tiny bit, up a bit again. Slowing its growth, but still going up a lot again, a tiny bit up again, up a lot again, and it all goes downhill from there. And now they protest not to join the European Union, and Queen Elizabeth tells them to calm down. And they all put their letters in the X just because they want to leave the EU. They go tell the EU that they are about the protest. And they agree and become friends, I guess. And now it leaves the European Union, sadly. The UK didn't have beef with the rest of the EU countries, of course. That's obvious. It was only because their economy was going down by a huge margin. And now for Chinese speaking COVID-19, and many of them die. I know many European countries like the Netherlands The Netherlands, Italy, Germany, France, Belgium, and Denmark are suffering from coronavirus too, and Bulgaria, and spread to the rest of the world. The coronavirus began in the EU in 2020, the year that many of the coronavirus cases came in. That was a super long video. Anyways, thanks for watching everyone. Please like and subscribe to both my channels. There's one on my iPhone called A Sense of History too. Not forcing. I'm also trying to get 100 subs and not 3,000, not 4,000, but 5,000 views before Christmas. I'm so close to 5,000 views. Not for 5,000 either. I'm also making a remake of my US Personal Life with Time series on for January 1st or 5th mid-March. Look out for first posts. Also, my Christmas special about the history of Christmas is coming tomorrow. I know I said it would be for history of Santa Claus, but I couldn't find a video like that. And instead, I'm going for the history of the best time of the year, Christmas. I'm also going to slow down the uploads because it's Christmas and everyone will spend time with their families. Anyways, bye everyone! See you tomorrow for my Christmas special!